It was an ordinary suburban house in Chicago. A friendly man lived there, a man who dressed as a clown for children's parties, a man the neighbors trusted. But beneath the floorboards of that house lay the bodies of 29 young men and boys. John Wayne Gacy, the man the world would later call the Killer Clown. John Wayne Gacy seemed like the perfect American success story. A hardworking businessman, a community leader, a husband and father. He even volunteered as Pogo the Clown, entertaining children at parties and hospitals. Everyone who met him said the same thing. He was friendly. He was funny, he was harmless. But behind that smile, something very dark was hiding. By day, Gacy was the respectable contractor. By night, he cruised the streets of Chicago. He targeted young men and teenage boys. He lured them with promises of construction work, money, or a simple ride home. John Sick, age 21, was offered a ride home. Gacy abused him, put him in handcuffs, and used a rope to strangle him. Greg Godzik, age 19, was given a painting job. He, too, ended up in the crawl space. Gacy would often keep his victims handcuffed for days, torturing them, raping them, before finally strangling them. He buried most of them in the crawl space right under his living room floor. 29 bodies, rotting directly beneath the floor where his family and friends walked every day. One of the most heartbreaking stories was that of 15-year-old Robert Peast. Robert was a bright, kind-hearted boy who had just started working at a local pharmacy after school. On the evening of December 11th, 1978, he told his mother he was going outside for a few minutes to talk to a contractor about a summer job that paid $200. That contractor was John Wayne Gacy. Robert got into Gacy's car, and that was the last time his family ever saw him alive. Gacy took him back to his house on Summerdale Avenue. What happened inside that house that night remains one of the most tragic moments in this entire case. Robert never came home. His mother waited, then grew worried, then desperate. She reported him missing the very next day. Robert's disappearance is what finally pushed the police to seriously investigate Gacy, because of one brave boy who never made it home. For years, the smell coming from Gacy's house was blamed on rats, until December 1978. When 15-year-old Robert Peast disappeared, police finally searched Gacy's house. What they found underneath the floor would shock the entire world. Body after body. Some still wearing the handcuffs he had used, 29 victims in total. The crawl space was so full, they had to dig up the backyard and garage to find the rest. The nightmare that had been hidden under Gacy's floor for years was finally exposed. Robert Peast's story became the turning point. The reason the crawl space was searched, and the reason 29 bodies were eventually discovered. During his trial, Gacy sat in court smiling, waving at cameras, joking with his lawyers. Even as the evidence of his crimes was shown, he never showed remorse. He was convicted on 33 counts of murder, the highest number in American history at the time. He was sentenced to death.
I might be the 34th victim, but there are other victims to this crime, and that is the family. Because if I know that I didn't commit the crime, then I have been given the injustice, and so is the family.
John Wayne Gacy was executed by lethal injection in 1994. But his story still haunts America. A man who smiled for the cameras while hiding 29 bodies under his own floor. He destroyed dozens of young lives and left families with pain that will never go away. We remember the victims, not the clown. If this story disturbed you, it should. Comment below, which killer should I cover next? Midnight Case Files, signing off. See you in the shadows.